So welcome back to another video on the channel. This international break is going on forever. I really want Championship football to be back, but we're going to have to deal with this at the moment. So what I'm going to do today, this is kind of going back to what I did in terms of my top 10 video. The only top 10 videos I've done are my favourite YouTubers, check it out if you haven't seen it, and my new What We Learned style. This is going to be another top 10 video sort of, but this is going to be more of a conversation with you guys and for you guys to learn about me a little bit more as well. I'm going to talk to you about 10 reasons why I just love the Championship. If you like this video idea, please give the video a like, a share and a subscribe. All of that would be tremendously appreciated. So without any further ado, let's go on to my first point on why I love the Championship. So the first thing that I really love about the Championship is the history behind most of the clubs there. You look at a club like Leeds, that were really dominant in the Premier League in terms of the 90s. They were competing for Champions League stuff, again top 4. They dropped down a good squad. They even dropped as far down as League One, but they recovered and they've got a tremendous history behind them. You look back at the likes of Nottingham Forest, who actually managed to win a European trophy. They're down in the Championship as well. You look back at a team like Middlesbrough, who made it to Europa League final in 2007, would you believe? You look back at a club like Fulham, who made a Europa League final in 2010, competing against Atletico Madrid. Really gave Atletico Madrid a good game, where they had the likes of David De Gea and Sergio Aguero in the same team. You then even look back at a club like Preston, where they may have not achieved much historically, but looking back, they're one of the oldest clubs ever in the 19th century. They've won the first place in the first division, so no other team will have that record apart from Preston. So they've got a really good history from there as well. A load of other established clubs as well, but also if you look at Sheffield Wednesday, that were a pretty active Premier League club back in the 90s as well. So yeah, my first reason is the history behind many of the teams competing in this league. The second reason why I really love the Championship is just the diversity of teams in this league. Obviously, I've already talked to you about the history of Leeds, Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forest, etc. But then you've got teams that are on the rise and are peaking to their potential. You look at a team like Luton Town. Now, to be fair to them, they were actually in the Championship in 2007, but they had a tremendous drop all the way down to the National League. But then they managed to rise up and they're now peaking again. If you look at the stadium size, it can really tell the character and life of a Championship club. You look at Griffin Park, one of the smallest stadiums in Brentford as well. You know, they've never had Premier League football. I don't think they've ever had Premier League football. So yeah, with the diversity of teams, the size of teams, and the fact that all 24 can compete as well, that's my second reason why I love the Championship. So the third reason why I really love the Championship, any team can beat anyone. I'm just putting that out there. Any of the 24 teams can beat each other. You saw it last weekend of Stoke being 24th and Swansea being first place at the time. Stoke managed to beat Swansea away from home 2-1. In the past, you know, you've seen a lot of examples with Leeds. Even like Leeds last weekend losing against Millwall, that's a really shocking result as well. Saw it last year with Norwich dropping points against Millwall, which at the time was a really shocking result as well. So the fact that all 24 teams can beat each other, I think it just increases the competitiveness of the Championship, which is why I love it. So the fourth reason why I really love the Championship is the rivalries. Now, one of the most classic rivalries is sadly not there anymore, which was the Steel City derby, because Sheffield United are now promoted into the Premier League. However, we still have a few derbies. For instance, we have got many Yorkshire derbies still, and with Huddersfield dropping that back down as well, they'll enhance more Yorkshire derbies. You know, the likes against Leeds, you've got Sheffield Wednesday in that category as well. You've got Millwall and Leeds, one of the two most arguably hated fan bases as well. They've got a fierce rivalry against each other. Nottingham Forest and Derby, another very fierce rivalry as well. So those rivalries really add an extra impact to the game. You know, you're getting the Manchester derbies and all of that, and the London derbies, but there's something extra that goes down in the Championship. There's more to play for in the Championship. And as I enhance on my point beforehand, any team can beat anyone. So the derbies offer intensity, which is another reason why I love the Championship. So the fifth reason why I love the Championship is the drama of the playoffs. Now, it sounds cliche, everyone seems that they love the drama of the playoffs as well. But over the years, we've had some dramatic playoff games. You look back all the way at 2010, I believe. Cardiff and Blackpool. Cardiff, the favourites to get promoted. But Blackpool somehow pulled it out the bag by 3-2, leaving Cardiff completely devastated. Little do they know they would have been promoted to the Premier League 3 seasons later. But this was a complete underdog story. We've got another example, and this was in a semi-final this time, with Watford against Leicester. Watford managing to equal the game, but Leicester having a penalty in the final minute of the game. If they scored it, they would have been going through straight to the playoff final. But Almunia saves the penalty from Anthony Knockaert. They now go on to a counter-attack, and Troy Deeney scores in the final minute of the game, sending Watford through instead of Leicester. I remember it, Giovan Cazorla was in charge. It was madness. Another classic playoff games are even the lowest scoring run. You look back at Derby against Queen's Park Rangers. Derby, the favourites to get promoted again under Steve McLaren, although they completely lost their guards into the final minute of added time, with Bobby Zamora scoring practically the first big chance of the game. And the diversity in terms of the playoff matches as well really makes the playoffs more exciting and intense, more importantly. Teams are playing for their lives because the losing team are going to have to deal with a bit of debt, but the other team are going to have a huge amount of money getting into the Premier League, and they can ultimately progress as a club. So yeah, the drama of the playoffs is another reason why I love this league. The sixth reason why I love this league is that I actually love the YouTube content creators that vlog the Championship matches and make Championship content creators. I myself am included in that category, even though I'm in a very small part of the market. You look at YouTubers like Stump Hair, you got Fodger now, occasionally does Championship stuff. Then you've got Ben HD as well, who does fantastic Championship content as well. He's the one Championship content creator I occasionally watch. So many people do as well, and they've got such a good passion for the Championship as well. When you see Premier League fans talking about it, you see them being a little bit more laid back, if you know what I mean. But with the Championship, because it's so competitive and because they've not got the same kind of attention as terms of the Premier League clubs do, they've got more passion about it, which is what I really like about them. So this point might not make sense to you. This is just kind of a personal point to me, but I really love the Championship content creators, which is another reason why I love the Championship. Otherwise, with that not being there, these content creators would not exist. So the seventh point, kind of linking back to any team can beat anyone, but it's the unpredictability, more importantly, that I think is even more impressive. You look back to last year, you see Aston Villa in 17th place by Halloween. They somehow go all the way up to 5th, and they get promoted to the Premier League and have just beaten their relegation rivals Norwich 5-1 away from home. This was a team by that time last year was 17th in the Championship. They would have been the 37th ranked if if all Championship and Premier League teams were to be combined. Just the unpredictability of what good runs of games can do to teams is just absolutely incredible. So yeah, the unpredictability of teams getting promoted and relegated, Middlesbrough pushing for playoffs, just missing out, but really close to relegation this year. So the unpredictability of the Championship is another reason why I love it. The eighth reason now why I completely love the Championship is the stars that they create. Now, I'm really happy that the Premier League is kind of snatching up these stars a lot more. Loads of Championship players are proving to be one of the next biggest things. One of the best examples right now would be James Maddison. He was a Championship player 2 years ago with Norwich. Last year he joined Leicester, and he's been one of Leicester's best players, and Leicester are currently 4th in the Premier League. You see examples of Dele Alli, he was in the Championship with MK Dons when he joined Spurs as well. You've got David Brooks, who joined Bournemouth. He's had a fantastic start for Bournemouth so far. Unfortunately, he's injured so far, so I actually haven't seen him yet this season. But as I've said, so many stars in the Premier League start out with their breakout season in the Championship, and then they get the attention they deserve. And they play with such passion, they play with such commitment to their team. And it's just beautiful to watch, which is another reason why I just simply love the Championship, because of the pedigree of all the 24 teams and the players that they have. The ninth reason why I love the Championship is that there's more of an edge. Now, what I mean in that, we have some bizarre games going on. Two big ones stick to my mind last year. We got the derby between Birmingham and Aston Villa, where Jack Grealish was punched in the face by a random, I quote, fan, but it wasn't even a fan. I'm no way condoning that behaviour at all, but it was such a dramatic and controversial moment. It got people talking. In fact, as bad as it sounds, it gave the Championship a little bit of attention. But no way am I ever condoning that. It was disgusting. Every time I would look back at it, I just, like, my skin crawled. But what was even more dramatic is that the guy that got punched scored the winner of the derby. It was almost destiny. Another game sticks to mind of Leeds versus Aston Villa, where Leeds scored where they probably should have kicked the ball out of play after Jonathan Kodjia was injured on the floor. And this ultimately ruined Leeds' chance of being promoted. But then you had Marcelo Bielsa, who was already controversial with the amount of spying he's done. In the end, the game ended as a 1-1 draw. And this was another game that got a lot of people talking. And another game that really got people talking was Leeds against Derby. Of course, this was the big rivalry. This was where Leeds kind of got shut out in a way of Spygate. And Frank Lampard wasn't happy about it. But Frank Lampard ultimately got the end of it and managed to send Derby through to the playoff final. They were this close to being in the Premier League, and Leeds, who are probably the favourites to win the playoffs, outside of the playoffs. And right now they're probably really struggling. They're probably regretting that they didn't make that chance count, especially as they won away at home at Pride Park as well. The unpredictability of games, that is another reason why I really love the Championship. So the 10th and final reason why I love the Championship, this is one that I've noticed like in live games. In my opinion, the Championship has the best fans. Not all of them are glory hunters, because they really can't be, because the only thing that they're chasing is the Championship trophy. They ultimately cannot really be a glory hunter unless you're in a competitive league for years and years and you only just miss out from getting promoted. With the Premier League fans as loud and as exuberant as they are, most of what I talk to, you know, have really high expectations, talk about they don't do this, I want the manager sacked, for instance. When I talk to fans of the Championship, they don't really operate like that. They really just want to be thrilled by the game, and they respect each opponent as well, and they don't like to take themselves too seriously either. Their chants are terrific as well. They're really entertaining. My favourite from last year, I think, was Stop Crying Frank Lampard, obviously based on Stop Crying Your Heart Out as an Oasis song. Literally, even though I should really hate Leeds for doing that, I really love it. So with their fan base, which is ultimately influenced by the content creators that do Championship stuff as well, when you have all of that combined, you just get a real feel-good factor. And the fact I don't support a team, I could really enjoy Championship football as a neutral. So that is probably my final reason why I just adore the Championship. So yeah, a video where you've had to hear my voice a lot, but to be fair, that's most of the videos anyway. If you liked what you see and you're interested of giving me your opinion on the Championship, please give the video a like, a share and a subscribe. But let me know in the comments down below, what is your favourite memory of being a Championship fan? Most of you that watch my videos do support our Championship teams, which is a bit different from me. Let me know what's your favourite moment with your club as well. What's your favourite moment ever in the Championship? And let's say if your club ever got into the playoff, what's your favourite playoff moment as well? Let me know in the comments down below. So that will wrap it up for today's video. Very different type of video, but one I really wanted to let out because I really wanted to show my passion for the Championship, because for me, not enough people talk about it, and it's channels like myself and just other Championship channels, because I play a small part in trying to make the Championship football a stronger impact in terms of the football world, but it needs to be spread out, it needs to be more recognised, which is why I wanted to do this video. But anyway, that will wrap it up. Enough of me being sentimental now. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw the end of this video. And as always, enjoy your Championship football and take care.